It is Tuesday, February 26th, and this is the 24 hours of Bitcoin. You can read our disclaimer in the description below, and I apologize for starting off with no sound. Today we'll look at the Bitcoin long-term price, then we'll zoom in and look at the RSI, the on-balance volume, and the MACD indicators. We'll see how it looks against Ethereum, Litecoin, and Stellar, and then we'll take a look at the overall cryptocurrency markets. So in this long-term view, I want to pay attention to past support and resistance. We can see what we were looking at in the past here, and what is above us and below us for support and resistance. So there's not a lot of resistance above us if we were to break through. It seems to be pretty clear sailing up to the next level, but below us there's stages and stages of support. So let's take a look at what happened in the long-term past for this very similar circumstance. Well, when we get back here, I'm not sure, this chart actually does have the data. So let's put it in here. We've got support and resistance here, support and resistance here, and we had a layer of it down in this level as well. And it does match up to what was going on in the past, but really in 2013, there is nothing. It just went, blew right through that. Nobody was aware of it, anybody buying. There was nothing above it, so no volume, no liquidity. And anyway, we're looking for that support and resistance in the past to see how it plays out and how it might give us some indicator of what's going on in the future right now. These are much wider bands, and we'll have to see how this plays out just in the general long-term support and resistance. Now zooming into the closer term, we're looking at the 3-month view, and we're looking at the RSI, which has pulled back and floating sideways. Let's zoom in on the RSI now to see. Yesterday we were seeing some divergence from price, and it was giving us anticipation of prices moving back up, but it didn't occur that the prices really surged as I was expecting. They've pulled back and they've made some bottoms here. And is this a divergence to the downside to give us an indication that prices are going to fade off from here? It's not definitive for me. In fact, it's giving a little bit of, at the point, the knife edge, the smallest divergence can be important. So we'll just note that for now and continue on. Moving on to the on-balance volume. We can see here that overall we had a really good surge of buying volume. That's very bullish overall for the trend. Now when we zoom in to see what's going on in the shorter term, there was a pretty big swath of selling going on here. And as we looked into it the other day, the swath of selling, as we zoom in one more, was just after the prices broke. Then there was the big swath of selling going on there. Things have quieted off, and we do have some on-balance buying in general going on here. So that's actually looking a little edge of bullish just at this point here. Not strong enough, not definitive until it's actually crossing above these levels. But certainly, as we go on, we'll see more. Let's go on to the MACD indicator now. We're looking at the 3-month view as we start off here. Nope. Look at the 3-month view. And this is interesting. This one has been calling some pretty good moves in the market, where this crossover and the change to the negative histogram here was an important timing. We can see it caught it pretty good. And as we zoom in, we can find that this timing caught it again here, where the histogram went to negative. And we're watching now for the histogram to change to positive for that break to go higher. I'm just not seeing it right now in the 4-hour bars. If we zoom in on this, it's looking a bit stronger, but it seems to be losing momentum. And these are not coming up to cross over, but seem to be fading down. There's lots of room for this to go lower, this indicator. So that's still not showing us a turnaround. This one crossed over and weakening here. So if I zoom in on this, we can see the histogram has just gone to negative. This moving average has crossed over, and we're on the 1 hour. So that is negative for the immediate term. And as we zoom into the 15-minute bar, it gets a little harder for me to read. We got to really zoom in on it, or you got to really zoom back on it to be able to see it. But here again, we've got the crossover and the histogram gone to negative just in the last few bars. So to me, it's not turning around from what we're seeing here so far. It seems weaker. Now let's zoom out and take a look at the overall view of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. We're looking at the 4-hour bars and zoomed out a good bit so that we can see these bottom formations and where they relate. And it would be no problem for this to pull back further still, this to pull back still a little further, and for this to pull back further. It wouldn't be a problem for the bull market overall. And so it is looking weak right now by our indicators. For the bull market, it wouldn't be abnormal for it to pull back from these kind of moves in this chart range. So nothing to worry about right now as prices are floating along, but it does look like it's coming down from where it is right now. Overall, when we look at the cryptocurrency market, we can see that we had a little tick to the bearish side yesterday, or 2 days ago we had the tick to the bearish side. Yesterday, the bearish pulled back a bit. The green line is the bullish index. So as the green gets stronger, it's more and more bullish. As the red gets stronger, it's more and more bearish. And so this is an overall average of all of the different markets on Poloniex graded against our trend change trading plan, a trading plan that is designed to catch trend changes. It doesn't work as well for choppy sideways markets, but it'll tell us when the bull market actually kicks in, and this will be our indicator. So I'd like to hear your comments about what do you think Bitcoin's going to be doing right now out of this movement. Is it going to bounce off of this and take off and jump right back up? Are these exhaustion candles to the downside and the bears are losing steam? Or is this indicators of big selling coming in and that soon we're going to see this crack down further and retrace back to some of these prior support levels? Do you say 3,600? Do you say 3,500? Are we kicking back into the rest of the down market? Is this going to continue off and fade lower than the 3,200? Fantastic times to be in cryptocurrencies. Good to see you, Willie WDS. Thanks for tuning in to the live stream. I'll cut it short. I wish you guys well. Good luck in all of your Bitcoin trading, and we will see you tomorrow.